At number 8, I am putting Emmerdale. We're going back to England, and it's once again another soap opera that I just don't have the past with. So maybe that hurt it, maybe it didn't. Unlike EastEnders, which I have watched a lot of over the past 2 decades, Emmerdale not so much. I've seen it here and there, and of the four main British soap operas, that being EastEnders, Hollyoaks, and Coronation Street, and Emmerdale, I would say I've probably watched Emmerdale the least. There were times where I watched it, or I saw some like old years of it, some episodes from the 2000s maybe, or the 2010s, and I enjoyed some of it. I feel like it's always been a mixed bag. Like Emmerdale really comes off as the soap opera from England that just really likes doing stunts a lot. And even this month, we saw stunts. And I don't know how I feel about the British soap operas and their stunts overall. I don't know how I feel about British soap operas and their love for killing off characters all the time. I mean, that happens in the American soap operas. And at least in the England soap operas, they don't always come back from the dead, although that's not always the worst, in my opinion, in the American soap operas. But yeah, over the last 3 to 5 years, I've checked out Emmerdale here and there, and I just feel like a lot of the show comes off redundant, maybe. I just feel like the Dingles are always scheming, and that shit gets old after you've seen a few months of the show, honestly. If you've seen Emmerdale over the past decade for 6 months at a time, the next 6 months you might get tired of the Dingles. I feel like I did. So they're clearly a popular family on the show because they clearly make up most of the show. It seems like, although for October they were at least kind of backburned. So maybe that's why I actually enjoyed I enjoyed Emmerdale more than I was expecting. I'll say that. I came into these rankings thinking Emmerdale would be at the bottom, and it still was because I enjoyed 7 other soap operas more than I enjoyed Emmerdale. But it honestly was decent. I even went back and watched a little bit of September as well to just try and get into what was going on the show. I tried to do that for a lot of soap operas. Some of them I just gave up because I wasn't really caring enough. But I actually got into parts of Emmerdale. I enjoyed Victoria and David. They had like this hostage situation, and they had this moment where David was basically saved Victoria's life and was going to confess his love for her in the process. Then after that, of course, Mina gets her claws into David. David telling Victoria he didn't really mean what he said when he almost died. That's the best story on the show by far. We got the psycho Mina, who, as far as psychos goes in soap operas, she's kind of basic, but I think the actress, I don't know her name at this point, but she's doing a good job. Sometimes a little over the top, but I like myself an over the top psycho on soap sometimes. I don't know how drawn out the story has been. I don't know how long Mina has been a psycho on the show. Because on some of the British soap operas, the psychos go on for way too long for my liking, as I already talked about with EastEnders and Grey. So I don't know how stretched out this Mina story has been for how long, but I'm enjoying what I've seen of it thus far. By far the most interesting story on Emmerdale. Another story I saw some of both in September and October is Kim and her son Jamie possibly being dead. I wish I knew more about the character of Kim. I know some, I've seen some of the past, and I'm hoping to go back and watch just classic soap operas as well for this channel at some point. But I do like the character of Kim Tate, and I know she's a big character from the past, another popular character from the past. I don't know if her return to Emmerdale is well received or not. I know she's been back for at least a couple of years now, I think, but I enjoy the character. I don't know how much I have enjoyed her storyline in particular, but it seems like those two storylines are connecting now. which I also find interesting because, like I said, Emmerdale and their stunts, they had a big stunt week in October, is the camping and hiking trip, which I don't know, a lot of Emmerdale is just a mixed bag for me. I enjoyed some of that stunt week, some of it not so much. It obviously looked great, and I loved how it looked. They did a great, fantastic job directing and putting money into it. So the stunt week looked great. The substance in some of it was okay. I liked the touch of the corn maze. We had Mina chasing, I believe her name is Andrea, through the corn maze. Eventually, Mina is the reason Andrea is killed during the stunt week. A big fire set during the camping trip. So yeah, it looked great, and I think the execution was also good. I just think like on a day-to-day basis, watching Emmerdale isn't that exciting, which goes for a lot of the soap operas. But I guess I'm just not invested in most of the characters. It also seems like Emmerdale has a lot of characters, and a lot of them are currently backburned. So these were definitely the two main stories. The other main story was Charles and Ethan, basically. Um, I don't remember the female character's name yet, but Charles was hiding who Ethan's mother was. So that was kind of that big story as well, which I mean, enjoyed for the most part. I'm still learning these characters, and honestly, so far so good because my expectations for Emmerdale were kind of low, like I said. But after actually watching it in October, it has potential. And so, like I said, the Kim story and the Mina story seem to be connecting now because somehow Kim has managed to get blamed for Andrea's death because I guess they have a history, they have a past. She was Kim's ex daughter in law, I believe. So Kim looks like she's being blamed for the death because the autopsy revealed that Andrea died from a blow to the head. That blow was caused by Mina. Before that, they were speculating that the fire killed her, but it was really a blow to the head. And they think Kim killed her and then set the fire to cover up the reason why Andrea was dead. It will be interesting to see where that story connection ends up going. I think that's all I have to talk about for now with Emmerdale. But yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's only at number 8 in the rankings for October soap operas, but the potential to climb higher in the rankings is definitely there.